character. I think a black Bond is
a
totally
live
fine.
character.
Yeah, Bond is like, like a small spy. I don't know. I love Idris Elba. He's just too
tall
big a dude.
is not something.
No, it's not even too tall. It's just like a
he's
big
too
dude.
ripped.
Yeah, basically.
Why not? But I don't know. I think that's a pretty good thing.
You can. I mean, Daniel Craig was a different kind of Bond too.
Yeah.
Wow. I just don't see him as Bond because of that.
I'm sorry, you're too tall for this role. Wow.
Just a big
Normally
dude.
I wouldn't be on the side of this. I would be like arguing, against shortism. But now we're
a shortist.
Shortist. All right.
I love Idris Elba. He's the best.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Between the Streams. This is our live podcast here from Digital Trends, where we talk about movies and entertainment and everything in that world. And we've got lots to get to today. We're broadcasting live on Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube, which means we can take your comments, your questions. We want to hear what you think. We're going to try to fill you in on what's coming up in movies and television, what's out right now, what to look forward to, and we're going to have some discussions as well. We'll be talking about Idris Elba here in just a second, but before we get to that...
I was just trying to imagine him as Bond. I'm like, can I do it? Can I imagine it?
Well, okay, we're going to talk about Ryan's issues here in just a second, but before... that's how I'm framing it. But before we get to that, we are going to be talking about this new announcement from the Academy Awards. So in case you didn't know, they are adding a new category, and it's going to be called a popular movie category. Yeah. I don't even have all the details.
They haven't given much detail, but we know it's going to be sort of like comic book movies, and people keep bantering about Black Panther and Wonder Woman. It seems like they're trying to boost ratings, and they're also trying to sort of like play to those who have been telling them for years that they don't have enough diversity. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get into that here then right off the bat, and we want to know your comments and your questions on that. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to be talking about BlacKkKlansman, the movie that's out this weekend. We're going to talk about Star Trek news, Star Wars news, lots to get to. I'm Greg Nibbler. I'm Ryan Juanita. And so, Ryan, why don't you fill us in on what we know about this so far? So for this new category. Basically, all we know is that the Oscars are in free fall as far as the viewership goes. Okay. And that in an effort to help the viewership, the Academy got together and came up with some ideas. And one of the ideas, which they say are going to be at the next Oscar ceremony in February, is to add the popular category. And what has been bandied about is for movies like Black Panther and Wonder Woman, who may or may not be eligible for a win elsewise. So this is just because the ratings for the actual broadcast exactly are bad. Right. That's the only reason that they're doing this. That's what it seems to be. Seems like a lame reason. And they haven't defined what a popular movie is. They haven't told us, what that means for whether these movies are then eligible for Best Picture. We don't know anything. I mean, we assume it's going to be still eligible for Best Picture. Okay. But it's like, why, Yeah. I mean, they have an animated category, which even that seems to be a little bit, it's cool, but it's like, it's a lot easier to pick up an Oscar that way if you're like one of the top animated films. Like Disney seems to win it almost every year. Either Pixar or Disney Animation wins almost every year. Yeah, one of those. They have the most people on the Academy as well, but they put out a kick-ass animated movie every year. So that's like an easy gold statue win. So with this popular movie category, again, we don't know how it would be decided upon. I mean, I'm guessing maybe they'll do some kind of social media thing or some combination. I don't know. I think it'll probably just be box office. Whoever sells the most. It'll just be box office numbers. So whoever makes the most money wins the popular movie. I guess, or like then you it might be like a box office level. You get into the category and then they choose the best movie from those movies. Okay. I don't know. Well, again, we're broadcasting live, so we do want to hear if you have any comments or questions about this, understanding this popular movie thing. Hello to everybody who's joining in. To me that it seems like it does water it down. Which we think it's just gonna basically Parker, one of our writers here, is gonna write an op-ed. Or is in the process of writing an op-ed basically saying don't turn the Oscars into the Grammys. Because the Grammys have been terrible for a while. Popularity contest. Yeah. And almost never does the best album of the year equate to what critics believe are the best album is the best album of the year. Yeah. In fact, the last one wasn't even in any critic's top 10 list. Wow. So, that's what's happened to the Grammys, and we hope that doesn't happen to the Oscars. So, we'll see what happens, and this could be in for this year. This is supposed to be happening this year. So, this is going to be happening this year. There's been a lot of backlash so far. So, talking about that popular movie category, again, a lot of things that we're going to be getting into today, but just bringing that up since it is kind of a real big thing that's happening right now. So, let us know what you think. If you're watching live, if you're listening to the podcast, send us an email or comment on Parker. Parker Hall has an op-ed on there. On Digital Trends. Yes. It's coming up. It's not out on yet. Digital Trends, just about this and some of the different arguments for and against it, I'm sure. It sounds like he's against it. He's mostly against it. Yeah, I was going to say he's mostly against. Let's be honest. He's going to be against it. That's the op-ed. All right. Well, we've got that. The other big thing that's been trending today has to do with
Idris Elba,
Yeah.
back in the news again,
Yeah.
as being proposed as possibly the next James Bond. This one has a little more to it, and it feels like these things crop up about every 6 months or so.
It was him and Tom Hiddleston for a while there.
Yeah, him and Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston had all that Taylor Swift playing around.
Oh yeah, and everybody's like, "Yeah,
surf and sand."
That doesn't look like a Bond."
Everyone's like, "That Bond would not do that."
Yeah,
what were you thinking? Wearing like a Taylor Swift T-shirt?
Yeah.
Oh God, some publicist, got fired on that one.
Yeah, probably. This is a terrible idea.
You blew it.
But so Idris Elba, the reason these rumors are popping back up again is possibly the next James Bond is because there was a UK publication, so the Daily Star, said in it that director Antoine Fuqua says that Bond producer Barbara Broccoli, actually her last name is Broccoli, that's interesting, believes it really is. So says that she
Barbara Broccoli.
Yeah,
that's an awesome
I'm
name.
sure it's probably pronounced
sounds like a
Broccoli
Sesame
or something
Street,
like that.
Character. She's a newscaster on Sesame Street.
Yeah, really, it
I'm
really does.
Barbara Broccoli. Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
I digress.
Anyway, the director says that Bond producer is open to opening up the diversity of the role of James Bond.
Yeah.
Now Daniel Craig is playing him for one more forthcoming movie, and then probably he's going to retire after that. I mean, it seems like they just keep throwing money at him to keep going, but he's going to be 50. I'm guessing he's going to retire.
Idris Elba isn't much younger than Daniel Craig, though.
Idris Elba's 45.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's about the right range,
Yeah, it'd be
for
fine.
Bond.
And I'm kind of like joking. I think he could do it. It's just like, it's just a different kind of Bond, but he is British. I could see it happen.
He is British,
but he's just like such a hulking presence, Like he's just a big dude. It just doesn't like equate to Bond. Like again, I don't think it matters if he's black or white or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
no, and I know that's what you mean.
Yeah.
But I am curious what people think. Like, are you excited about an Idris Elba Bond or not?
I mean, I'll probably dig it. I love Idris Elba and everything he does.
That's the thing.
Also,
for me,
I didn't really think
Idris Elba.
Daniel Craig as Bond either. He doesn't seem like a Bond to me until he did it, and I realized what they were going for. They were going for a grittier Bond, and I thought he did a really good job with sort of transitioning the character.
Taking a look at some of the comments that are coming in, Peter just says, honestly, who cares? Well, and that's a fair statement too.
It's true.
I'm not saying you're wrong with that statement, but
even if I don't think he's quite right for the part, it's not like I'm not going to watch the movie and probably love it.
Yeah.
It's good.
No, for me, I mean, I like Idris Elba, and I like watching him in things, and I think
Luther is my jam. So.
Yeah, and I still think of him as Stringer Bell.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it would be great, and I can't think of anybody else who would be it, but I'm also not a huge Bond person. So
yeah, I mean, I've been getting more into
Bond movies
lately
aren't,
because I've actually really enjoyed the Daniel Craig Bond. So maybe this will be just what I need to
shake it up a little bit.
Get back into the deal.
I think it's fine to shake it up.
I really thought Tom Hiddleston was going to make a cool Bond, though.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him doing that, but not after that Taylor Swift.
No,
was all
he
over
ruined it.
No, Taylor Swift took him down. All right, well, we've got that. So again, let us know your comments, questions. Let's talk about the box office this weekend. So we're going to kind of go through some of the movies that are out, and then we're going to get into talking about Star Wars. In case you haven't heard about the live action series, we're going to go into that part. So for the box office this weekend, we got a few movies, good and bad. But starting off with the one that's getting really good reviews, which I'm really excited about actually, is BlacKkKlansman.
It's supposed to be Spike Lee's best movie in years. Some have said in over a decade, and it looks really interesting. It's
Spike Lee directing, Jordan Peele producing, stars John David Washington, Adam Driver, Topher Grace.
Yeah, great cast. I love Adam Driver.
Great cast, based on a true story, which I love these kinds of stories. Like when you actually get a really good story about some historical thing that happened. I love those. We're taking a look here. This one is based on this guy, Stallworth, who was a black police officer who went undercover and via the phone pretended to be a Klansman.
Right.
And then he would send another guy in to be him in real life, because obviously he couldn't walk in and be the person.
Be a lot of makeup.
Right. So they're playing this dual roles, and where Adam Driver plays the actual version of this character this guy created to try to take down the Klan.
And Driver is playing his partner.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Flip Zimmerman.
Yeah, the whole thing just sounds amazing. So Detective Stallworth, he was a detective, and this actually did happen, and it's based on his book about his life called BlacKkKlansman. I'm 100% in on this. This sounds great.
98% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, I don't know if it's a theater movie, but, for me necessarily, but I definitely want to watch it.
It'll be as soon as it gets out, I'll go watch it.
Speaking of the Oscars, I'm assuming this is going to be,
I mean, it looks awesome.
If it's as good as everybody's saying, probably right up in there.
I'm excited about that. So we've got that on the high end. Let's go to the low end. We've got Slender Man.
Yeah.
Slender Man, the movie is out.
Who knew that an internet meme couldn't drive a very compelling story?
Well, and it sounds like a very poorly written internet meme movie as well.
So Rick Marshall, our reviewer, saw the film, did not have kind words to say, and also said that some of, basically most of the trailer is not in the film.
Really?
Yeah, which is, so that to me, that means that they shot all that and they just made a terrible movie and hacked it all up in editing. Because that just says trouble all over it. It's at 20% on Rotten Tomatoes with a pretty low average, and he said basically just there's this all powerful monster, you never really understand who he is or what he is from, and a bunch of the characters plots points don't get resolved, and then oh no, it's a Slender Man. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I'm seeing some agreeing comments that are coming in on Periscope and a few other places. So all right. Well, so there's Slender Man on the low end, and then in the middle, I guess
this could be okay.
We've got The Meg.
It's just boring, apparently.
The Meg.
It's probably exactly what you think it's going to be.
With Jason Statham chasing a gigantic shark.
Yeah.
So that's
sure.
Kind of sums that up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Rainn Wilson. Yeah. Sure.
Big shark.
I don't have anything against Jason Statham either.
I think somebody said I watched it and I kind of just wanted to go watch Jaws instead.
Or Sharknado and just watch that. I mean, because it kind of seems a little bit like that.
It doesn't really cross over into the funny, zany.
Oh.
And it doesn't really get good in the
Jaws.
full-on, thriller thing.
Okay.
So it just kind of floats in the middle there. Literally. See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right. Well, The Meg is also out. I don't know if I'll ever watch The Meg, but we'll see.
You know me. I have a thing for
you love monster movies.
So I'll probably
you could end up watching this.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. That Blake Lively movie ended up being really good, by the way. The shark movie.
I will never watch that because that seems way too real.
Oh, so real.
That seems way too real.
She was great in that, which I'd always talked trash on her, but she was really good in that.
I have a real hard time with open ocean movies where you get stranded. That's horrifying to me. I just
exactly
innate fear of it, and no.
It's very, very visceral. You feel it.
You ever seen Open Water?
Yes, I have.
And
it's awful.
Full of horrible, horrible nightmares.
But what is the name of that Blake Lively movie? Because now I need to know.
I'll take a look. Okay. I don't know because I blank it out of my mind because I never want to watch it. All right. Well, anyway, The Meg is out, so you can watch that. Let's get into talking about a few other things. So coming up, we're going to be discussing some DC. DC actually has a few things going on, and a whole bunch of new Netflix releases that we want to talk about. But before we get to that, I want to bring up talking about Star Wars.
The Shallows. It's called The Shallows.
The Shallows. Yeah,
Thank you, IMDb.
You got it. And Rick Marshall joining us right now on Facebook too. He's making sure that you know.
Okay.
It's The Shallows.
It's The Shallows.
It's The Shallows.
Yep, that's true.
All right, Star Wars. This is something that we've known about. Obviously, Disney's going to be launching their own streaming service.
I'm kind of starting to get super excited about this.
Are you?
Even though it's on the stupid Disney streaming service.
Or is it just one too many streaming services?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay, so the Disney streaming service, the forthcoming one.
The fact that, we learned some stuff. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm
getting ahead of you.
Well, I was just going to give a little background on the Disney streaming service in case you don't know. It's going to be forthcoming. They're going to be probably, we don't know for sure, but probably taking all their Marvel properties eventually and putting them on there, which means they have Marvel, they have Star Wars, they've got all of the family programming. I mean, they've got tons of stuff they can put on there. I don't know if the
family is going to move off of XD or if, how that's going to work.
Yeah.
We're all sort of in the dark about what the streaming service is going to be. But we know that the new Star Wars show is going to get $100 million.
Yeah, so it's the Star Wars.
$10 million per episode. One of the most expensive TV series of all time.
Live action television series. Jon Favreau producing it and writing it.
Yeah, that's what's cool.
$100 million for 10 episodes. So this is the most expensive.
It is not the most expensive.
It's not.
No, it is only one of the most expensive. In fact, some of the more expensive ones you'll find if you look on Netflix. Stuff like Marco Polo. those were
Marco Polo.
huge money pits.
How much did Marco Polo was that per episode?
I think it was like $7 billion or something.
I'll take a look. Ryan loves Marco Polo.
But yeah, I thought that this had to be one of the most expensive because Game of Thrones is only like $7 million per.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Marco Polo was $90 million for a 10 episode
but there
season.
are some that are more expensive. This is not the most expensive, surprisingly.
But still, $10 million an episode,
it's
basically.
A lot. And what's crazy is the Amazon series coming, Lord of the Rings, is going to blow this out of the water. Because I think that's like $250 million for 10 episodes or something ridiculous.
It's a lot of money, no matter how you look at it.
It's insane.
No matter how you look at it.
Yeah, $100 million, they are spending a lot of money on this thing.
What
are you laughing about?
Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments that are coming through here, just as we're going through live. So I'm excited about the Star Wars thing. I do want to make sure to let you know Elaine doesn't care about Holly Weird. So Ryan, you take that to heart.
Okay.
This is a live show as we go through. Rick is also saying Sense8 and The Crown were super expensive as well.
Yeah, The Crown. That was the one that I looked up that I couldn't believe how much money they spent on that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gorgeous. You can see it, but wow, they spent a lot of money on that.
All that money coming in. So,
Netflix just prints money.
The Star Wars, they do. Well, I mean, they're all printing money.
Actually, they don't. Disney makes money. Netflix just spends it.
Well,
but yeah,
whatever. I mean, Star Wars is $100 million for their 10-episode season. Obviously, I'll watch it. I'll figure out how to watch it because I want to watch it. So I may end up getting the Disney series just to watch that series.
Well, and we didn't talk about this, but what I'm interested in is that. Sorry,
didn't go ahead.
Interrupt you. Is that
I was fumbling?
It's right after the Battle of Endor, or it's like 9 years or something after the Battle of Endor, and that's a really interesting period of time that we haven't really explored.
Which means we're getting Ewoks.
It doesn't mean that at all, actually, but it does mean that we're going to get some information leading into The Force Awakens, and they've got a lot to play with there in that timeline where the Empire is going to hiding and sort of rebuilding, or whatever happened to become the new Empire or whatever.
Yeah. And we get to find out what happened to Wiki.
The First Order, I should say. All right. And it's all, the weird thing is it's all following Ewoks. It's only about the Ewoks. And I thought that was a strange direction.
It's all in the Ewok language. It's all subtitled. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm into this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay a lot for those little suits. That's why it's $10 million.
That's true.
All right. So that's what we know about the Star Wars series. Let's talk about DC. A little bit of news on DC. Silver and Black, the movie they were going to do about Silver Sable and Black Cat. I think that's her right name, right?
Yeah.
They were going to do a team-up movie with those two, and that's not happening anymore. And I don't think people care too much about that because we don't know a lot about those characters. But apparently, Black Cat's still going to get her own movie. But more importantly, though, something that did get a lot of play this week is Batwoman is coming to the CW series. So the CW universe that they have with the different series. Yeah, Batwoman's going to be in.
Yeah, and I would be interested in that if it wasn't on the CW, which all of those TV shows are terrible.
Yeah, well, she's going to show up in what they're calling the Arrowverse crossover, so the episode where they cross over all of them. Ruby Rose, from Orange is the New Black, is going to be Batwoman. And then I guess this is just a step into then the series that she's going to get.
Yeah, and people thought it was like really controversial that, she's lesbian and she's going to be playing Batwoman or whatever. I'm just like that has nothing to do with it.
That's like the least interesting part of the character.
I just think it's on the CW, so it's not going to be any good.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have.
Right.
But, it should be interesting.
Yeah, so that's what we found about that.
I don't really know much about Batwoman either, so.
I'll be honest, I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either.
I remember Batgirl in...
I think it goes a little bit deeper into the comics.
Well,
Batgirl
movie.
Is different than Batwoman. Those are different characters.
In the Nipple Batman
movie.
Which was one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah. Which one?
With Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. Yeah.
Also, Rick is saying, "Hush your mouth, Ryan. CW superhero shows are awesome."
Yeah, they're great.
Gonna leave that
they're
there.
really great.
Supergirl.
If you like teen drama.
Wow, just throwing shots there. All right, moving on. Supergirl. There's a lot of rumors that Supergirl is going to get her own movie. And apparently Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment are in the early stages of a Supergirl film. They've hired 22 Jump Street writer Oren Uziel to pen the script, but they don't have a producer yet.
Comedic, or do they just think...
I don't know. That's a good question. And there's also no rumors if Melissa Benoist is going to carry over and play Supergirl in the movie itself.
But it is going to be executive produced by Greg Berlanti, so Rick Marshall, it's going to be terrible.
We should have just had Rick on the show.
Yeah, we should have. He's very
next
vocal
week.
today.
Next week. Maybe we'll do that.
Okay,
all right. So So Supergirl, obviously a very popular series, I would say, on
it is,
CW. Yeah. So and I have not watched it. I probably have not given it its fair shake. But maybe getting a movie. So that was getting a lot.
It wasn't popular enough to stay on ABC, but it's definitely popular enough for the CW.
Wow.
And that's true. That's what happened.
That's true. That's a true story. All right.
True story.
All right. So coming up here in just a minute, I want to talk about Star Trek and Sir Patrick Stewart. Sir Patrick Stewart. Coming back, we've got some Jordan Peele news, too, I want to discuss. Before we get to that, just a couple of brief things on Netflix, since we were bringing up Netflix. And this is a trailer that it's very interesting. Like, Netflix is really going in some bizarre directions.
This series looks crazy.
And this is one starring Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, and you may have heard about it. It's called Maniac, and it's going to be a limited series. And so I think it's 10 episodes. Yeah, 10-episode drama. So it follows Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, who play two participants in a drug trial and through their series of bizarre fever dreamlike experiences. This could either be great or really bad to me.
The trailer is amazing. It kind of has shades of
True Detective?
Spots on the Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spot.
Yeah, the Spotless Mind. God,
I just want to let you work it out.
I just mumbled my way through that. I'm just going to wait until you work it out. Oh, my God.
Sometimes you just got to work through it, you know?
Yep, you got a word association.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's where I was going.
There it is.
It really has shades of that.
We figured it out.
It feels very psychedelic. It's very interesting.
So, Cary Joji Fukunaga also is working on it.
What was that again?
I think I said it right.
Okay.
Worked as executive producer on True Detective, and that's who's directing this series.
It looks really cool to me so far. We'll see if they can keep it together with so much, sort of psychedelic
that's a lot going
influence.
On.
But it's them jumping into all these different characters. For those that didn't see the trailer yet, Emma Stone and Jonah Hill are sort of connected by some sort of strange bond, and the more they try to break them apart, the more they seem to connect together in these weird visions that they're having.
Well, and I'm not going to lie, just visually, one of the first things you notice is how skinny Jonah Hill is. Honestly, he's like gaunt.
Yeah, he dropped the weight.
Like more than just like fit, he's like gaunt. So, I think it's a little bit of a...
that's what threw you off?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things like, whoa, okay. All right. It did. Honestly, I can't help it. But Media Shock UK, just on Periscope, just said Maniac looks fantastic. And yeah, I will definitely be watching that.
I'm into it.
So Maniac, that's going to be coming up. Speaking of Jonah Hill, I did want to bring this up too. I just found out about this before we went on air. He's got another movie coming out. And it's an A24 film. So A24 is that production company that
they make
did,
cool stuff.
all kinds of crazy. I'll have to get the list of the different movies they've done. But he wrote it and is directing it, but I don't believe he's in it. He's not starring in it.
All right.
It's called Mid-90s, and there's a trailer out for it. It comes out in a couple of weeks, I believe. I'll get the actual date. But it looks interesting. It's so written and directed by him. It follows a 13-year-old boy in 1990s era LA who spends his summer navigating between his troubled home life and his emotionally and physically abusive older brother and his new friends. I don't know. Seems like one of those like childhood coming of age kind of things.
Yep.
But I imagine there's a little bit more to it if it's an A24 film.
That's true.
There's going to be some kind of weird part to it.
Yeah.
So that's something else coming out. And then back to the Netflix side really quick, and then I want to get into some of the comments that we have here before we talk about Star Trek. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, in case you didn't know, also coming to Netflix. So
they're rebooting it, or what?
Rebooting it.
Okay.
It's all live action, and people are wondering if it's going to tie into Riverdale. But it's going to be 10 episodes, and that's if you're a fan of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, well, there you go. You're going to get a talking cat.
Going to go right on the shelf next to my Fuller House episodes I'm not going to watch.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Netflix does it all.
Okay. There it is. Going back to our original question that we had, too, just talking about the Academy Awards and what
the popular category.
The popular category, and somebody was saying, okay, so it's just a popularity contest. That's just going to take away from the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
The whole idea. Yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways you can look at it, but I think it's going to take away from the Academy Awards.
We'll have to wait till all the details come out, but I just don't see it being a good thing in any way.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
Yep.
So leave us your comments, questions. Let's go ahead and move on and talk about Star Trek.
Yes.
Because this is exciting news. I don't know anybody who's upset about this. This is the most exciting
news I heard about all week.
And it's just that Patrick Stewart is coming back as Jean-Luc Picard in a new series for CBS All Access.
Yeah, he's getting
that
his
whole
own
Star Trek universe,
series.
His own series, and he even posted about it, kind of exploring where Picard goes after, or where he went.
Yeah.
What happened to him after Star Trek The Next Generation. who could not be happy about this?
Yeah. I'm a Patrick Stewart fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
I mean, unless you're just not a Star Trek fan. If you're not, totally
but
understand.
Even then, like Patrick Stewart's such a great
it's
actor.
Patrick Stewart,
and you kind of feel like with some
just
age that he has, he's going to bring some more gravitas to it, some more dramatic influence into it.
What's how all that influenced his life, like all the crazy stuff they did, and what
there's
that
a lot
did to
of
him.
ways that they could go with it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking maybe he's just like a crazy guy living on the streets.
Yeah, I mean, he could be. He had all those Borgen things.
Yeah, the man went through a lot.
He's been through some shiz.
nice self-censorship right there.
I did not swear.
So, anyway, that's going to be coming back. So it's confirmed 10-episode season for CBS All Access.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool.
In their Star Trek world. And they've got like 4 or 5 different series they're working on for the Star Trek universe.
The first one worked. The second season looks like it's going to be very good. And they know what they're doing, it seems like. So, good for them for against we weren't betting on them.
We were not.
There were a lot of problems trying to kick that series out, but
very true.
But good on them.
So we've got that also coming to CBS All Access. In case you didn't know about this, Jordan Peele's producing everything now.
I'm pretty excited about this one too.
He is doing a Twilight Zone reboot.
He's just such a mega fan, and he knows the cultures so
well. That's
well.
the thing.
He knows horror, comedy, and obviously, I think he's going to do well with this too. He's sort of a connoisseur.
I love the Twilight Zone. I love the original ones especially.
Yeah.
Every time there's a marathon of those, I'll just sit down and watch them back to back.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what his Twilight Zone looks like in comparison to Black Mirror.
Right.
In comparison to the original too, but like now that we have Black Mirror out there, where do they go with it exactly? I mean, because Twilight Zone is less tech obsessed, I think you have a lot more you can work with, and Black Mirror has branched out from that as well.
Right.
But I think this will be really fun to watch.
I trust his vision on it, whatever he's going to do, and I will absolutely be watching that. I mean,
CBS is starting to get all access, aren't
Damn
they?
it.
Yeah. Those sons of guns.
God, they're finally winning me over. How many of these do I have to have at this point? Well, anyway,
you're gonna need all access.
He's doing that. He's also got deals with, I think, Hulu, Amazon. He's doing The Hunt, which is a Nazi hunter thing. He's got his new series on YouTube that's going to come out called Weird City, which is a more Black Mirror-like series as well. It's like Black Mirror, only mixed with a little bit of a comic, like a comedic element. Set in the future in a city called Weird.
Is this guy? This guy is the hardest working man in show business.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. You know.
Actually, I just rewatched all of Key and Peele again.
Yeah. Still hilarious.
I wasn't even trying to rewatch all of it. I was just jumping in there. Got all the way through.
Got to watch
those
the whole
5 seasons. Just fly by. Still great.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. All right. Well, something I know you are also very excited about is the Predator movie coming out September 14th.
I'm still excited about that.
So about a month away.
Yeah.
Month away for it. And
now I'm starting to get worried that it might just be terrible.
Well, we did get the rate they're putting out the trailers does make you worried just a little bit.
Speaking of Key and Peele.
That's right. Yeah.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Keegan-Michael Key is in the new Predator movie. So September 14th, the latest trailer that we got shows another ultimate Predator.
Yeah, I don't
because all the Predators were mixed in with like the people they conquered, and now they adopted it. It's Gremlins 2. It is Gremlins 2.
I just watched that sketch too on Key and Peele.
It is Gremlins 2 with Predators. That's my prediction on it. I am probably the only one saying that, but nonetheless.
Well, if they have a Predator that starts like shooting out electric stuff, and then they have a female Predator.
If they have the lady Predator
with lipstick,
with the lipstick
with
on,
the lipstick,
it is definitely Gremlins 2 or Octopus Predator, and okay. So
actually, I think Octopus Predator could be awesome.
It's Octopus Predator.
Oh, that's scary.
Octopredator.
I don't even want to see that.
Yeah, okay. We'll have to work at that. Predator. I don't know.
That if it was in water, okay, even scarier.
All right. Well, there we go. So we've got that, and then just a couple of final things that we wanted to get to you too. That that I thought was pretty cool. Pretty cool to find out about.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Rob McElhenney and Charlie Day signed a deal with Apple to produce a comedy series that's going to be on there. It's described as a cutting-edge series that's set in a video game development studio and will explore the intricacies of the human condition through hilarious and innovative ways. And McElhenney's going to star in it.
Right, but Charlie Day's not. That's kind of annoying.
Charlie Day's not. Well, they've got several different things that they're working on.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's one that's a Charlie Day-driven one, and one's...
Right, maybe.
But they're both executive producing and writing the series.
Well, as far as we know, Rob McElhenney is still working on the Minecraft movie, which we still don't know what the hell that's going to be.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So some news on that. And then one other thing, I just wanted to play this or talk about this movie really quick. Another one on September 14th, if you don't want to go see Predator then. It's called I Think We're Alone Now. And I feel like apocalyptic movies are getting a real comeback. Like, there's a lot of them.
I mean,
there's a lot of bad ones,
pretty much
too.
Since Walking Dead came about, like, it's been TV shows and movies about apocalypse pretty heavy.
Yeah, well, this one stars Peter Dinklage and Elle Fanning. And then a couple of, it's like Paul Giamatti's in it in some way, too.
It's a good cast.
Yeah. So Peter Dinklage is supposedly the lone survivor of an apocalyptic event, but then finds out he's not the lone survivor.
So the story of every single...
Wait a minute. Somebody else is there? Yes.
Just a little clue to everyone out there in apocalyptic scenarios. There is no lone survivor scenario. You're not going to be the only one.
It's not how it works.
7 billion people. That's pretty bad odds.
And you're the only one. Wow, what an ego.
It's you.
Got a real ego on you.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, so we've got that. I don't even want to talk about the Showtime Halo TV series. In case you didn't know, Showtime is having a TV series based around Halo.
Happening.
It is happening.
Has some decent people behind it. Has the director of Rise of the Planet of the Apes behind it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Well, finally, what I wanted to do is, and before we wrap back up and we'll talk about our original question at the top, a little between the cracks. So this is our segment where we find a movie or a television series that maybe doesn't get enough attention. Mm-hmm. And this is one that I have watched all the way through. It's on its 3rd season right now.
You're the only viewer.
And I am the only person I know of myself or any friend ever who is watching
the only
this.
one.
Yeah. I'm talking about El Chapo on Netflix. So it is a team up between Univision and Netflix. It's in Spanish.
Spanish language.
It's Spanish language, but I mean, you can put on the subtitles. It's got an overdub you can put on.
Yeah,
so
you don't want the overdub.
You don't want the overdub, though. You really don't. I tried doing that. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
Overdubs are the worst.
I'm going back to the subtitles. And it's about Joaquin Guzman, El Chapo, so the Mexican drug lord,
right,
who was about ready to go on trial in New York.
Crazy story, yeah.
At the time, he was. I mean, in history, he became the richest drug dealer ever, richer than Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, that's saying something.
And so controlling the Sinaloa cartel, and it's just about his rise to power. And I know that's not something for everybody. I can't help it. I like it. I think a lot of it is because the star, the guy playing El Chapo, is Marcos de la O, and he's really good. He's somebody like you want to keep watching him because you're like, wow, this guy's really intriguing.
Yeah, as long as you got a good protagonist or antagonist.
Yeah, there's some comments. I keep wanting to watch that, but don't.
There's a lot of TV out there.
I know there's a lot of TV out there, but if you're into like the drug dealers or the drug dealer movies or gangster movies or stuff like that,
I can't believe I'm about to subscribe to CBS All Access for God's sake. No,
that's
That's really
just
ridiculous.
Admitted that. I'm gonna find something where you said you would never.
Where I would never.
I will never do
that.
Oh,
I see. You're gonna have Jordan Peele's new show.
Yeah.
You're gonna have.
Well, anyway, El Chapo,
Patrick Stewart's new show.
3 seasons on Netflix. You can watch it if you want, or I'll just keep on being the only one. Please write me if you're watching it, so I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, you guys could be pen pals.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, back to our original question here before we wrap up. Again, the Academy Awards announcing the new popular category that they're going to be having.
Yeah.
I think we're all pretty much against it. Yeah,
to talk about.
I think it's a dumb idea, but that is what's probably going to be going on for this next Oscars.
Yeah, and keep a lookout for February. Our op-ed on Digital Trends where we talk about how we don't like it.
Perfect. So that's coming out digitaltrends.com.
Parker Hall talks about
Parker Hall will be giving you his unfiltered opinions on it, and which I heard some of them yesterday. He's got some opinions, and so we'll be having those again at digitaltrends.com. And just like everything else that we've talked about too, you can go to the website, take a look at everything that's coming up in movies and television, and we do this show once a week to highlight some different things that we think people should know about.
Absolutely,
good or bad. But just so you know what's keep up to date in the world of entertainment, and that's why we have this Between the Streams. You can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you get podcasts. Hit the subscribe button. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, leave us a little message.
Yeah,
tell us we suck or tell us we're cool.
Well, I prefer cool, but
as long as you click.
If you think we suck, Ryan Juanita is at digitaltrends.com. You can get his email address.
Yep.
Or
easy
just
to find.
Send it podcast at digitaltrends.com. I'll send it right on over to him.
It filters right through.
Yep. He'll get it
right into my trash box.
I'll read your emails. Well, anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks for joining us every week. So we'll be back again next Friday, noon Pacific time, live and on podcasts wherever you get podcasts. So thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with another episode.